Ľudovít Fulla was born on the 27th of February 1902 in Ružomberok. He died on the 21st of April 1980 in Bratislava. Fulla was a Slovak painter, graphic artist, illustrator, stage designer, art teacher and art educator. He was considered one of the most important figures of Slovak creative art in the 20th century, inspired by Slovak folklore.
Ľudovít Fulla was a harbinger of Slovak modernism. Fulla's artistic approach are synthesis of modern expression and folk creativity, flat stylization, saturated colors and decorativeness.
Fulla's largest paintings are often crowded, intensely colorful, and full of small scenes, inviting the viewer for closer inspection.
Fulla's paintings aren't an imitation of nature. They consist of elements of visual art. How did the artist proceed in composing shapes, colors and lines when composing the paintings? The shapes are derived from basic geometric elements such as point, circle, rectangle and triangle. For example, in the works of dragon and balloons.
Dragon. He composed the image of the dragon from geometric shapes by placing them gradually and alternately on both sides of the image, thereby balancing his composition. He used soft and balanced colors. Blue, yellow and red surfaces regularly appear on one side and the other side of the dragon.
Balloons. He used variegated colors, he put them close together, changed the proportion of the individual elements in the painting, some that are small, other bigger. He used oblique and opposite lines. The balloons make us feel like they are about to fly away from the painting. They even outgrow the outline of the canvas.
He was formally based on Western, especially French modern painting, whose principles he applied with an excellent sense of composition and peace. Particularly, he was influenced by modern art, Cubism, Russian avant-garde, Surrealism, Fauvism, Constructivism, and German Expressionism.
The basic principles of Fulla's painting were the abstracting of the shape, the imaginary composition of the painting, and the emphasis on color.
From the mid-1930s, Fulla leaned toward the national myth. However, Fulla pushed this motif into modern painting statement. Song and work. For this painting, he won the Grand Prix at the World Exhibition in Paris 1937. From 1949 till 1952, he was the head of the Department of Monumental Decorating in newly established University of Fine Arts in Bratislava, but left for political reasons.
During the war years, Fulla moderated his avant-garde art style, beginning to prioritize Christian motifs, crucifixion, resurrection, expulsion from paradise, and the Slovak Madonna motif.
Icon inspiration had the greatest influence on artists' handwriting. Artists' handwriting stabilized in 1930s when he not only achieved a cultivated original recitation, but also defended the right to an independent existence of the painting with his work.
He painted a few paintings of the Madonna. Fulla's Madonnas are a bit different. He tried to profanize religious issues to some extent and to place more emphasis on their human dimensions. He also transforms the classic theme with the original Christian symbolism into an image with a theme from everyday life, thus elevating it to the festive world.
Fulla's Madonnas are a bit different. For example, Madonna in red, where is Virgin Mary dressed in a red dress, painted with a few white brush strokes, unlike the traditional depiction of Madonna in a gold or blue robe. On his other paintings, like Madonna with Angels, Gingerbread Madonna and many more, they are wearing a full costume, with baby Jesus in her hands and levitating angels around them. Color is really important in Fulla's paintings. Madonnas represent the symbol of motherly love.
His main sources of inspiration were Slovak folk art and folklore. His work celebrated the joy of life, well-being and happiness. He used warm and rich colors, especially the distinctive yellow and red, which add to the activity and drama. He simplified the objects, abstracted them. He filled out the most of the area in the picture. For example, he painted the frame of the work.
Children's artistic expression. Children's drawing was admired by all the painters at that time. For a grown-up, drawing means return to the children's world, to the land of fantasies where there are no boundaries and restrictions. When will a child draw an oval, square, or triangle? The goal of children's drawing is the process of the drawing.
In the basic principles, Fulla was also inspired by a Russian painter, Marc Chagall, by his painting and way of thinking, which depicted levitating figures that seemed to float in space.
In the second half of the 1950s, Fulla discovered new motifs: still life, studio and nude.
By lightening shapes and figures, ordinary characters become creatures of bright beauty, bright red colors symbolizing life and love.
Fulla was awarded a gold medal at the World Exhibition Expo 1958 in Brussels. He was also awarded a main prize at the World Exhibition 1937 in Paris. In 1976 he was awarded with an honorary diploma of Hans Christian Andersen for the best illustrator in the world.
Ľudovít Fulla laid the foundation for modern graphic and book design in Slovakia.
Using the line, he abstracted the motif of a ship and a sailboat. Through stylization and free, but well thought-out arrangements of shapes, he created a work that captures the volatility of the moment of summer's day by the sea. With the help of coloring, he brought childish playfulness and naivety to the black and white graphics. He expresses his feelings and desire for a happy world full of joy from the moments spent were applied.
Fulla's work was fundamentally important for the establishment of Slovak modernism. Personal style is characterized by a special poetry of the image, relying on surface and decoration, a synthesis of rational and emotional elements, brilliant color, knowledge of folk art, is Slavonic iconography and word modernism.
In 1930s, Fulla and Mikuláš Galanda ended the public with a manifesto, Private Letters of Fulla and Galanda, in which they expressed the need to put an end to the all artistic methods and wanted to change them to correspond to dynamic changes characteristic for 20th century.